Hello and welcome to a new video. Today we want to take a look at the Galarian Slowbro in the Open Great League. And as you can see already, today's video is going to be a little bit longer. Why? Because this team and this Pokemon worked out so well that I kind of want to showcase a little bit more of it. We're going to have here already in the beginning a horrible lead, but we're going to have two good answers against Grass-type Pokemon in the back, with a Charger Bug Saysop running Crunch over Discharge for additional coverage against something like a Gligar, but also you're going to see it quite often here as well today. There are going to be quite a few Ghost types thinking, oh, I'm going to be safe, I'm resisting the move Exeter from that Pokemon. They were not safe. We had Crunch for them. So honestly, this team worked out so well. I went a total of 12-2 with this team as far as I know, and climbed up a ton of points. And honestly, like, you don't see the Galarian Slowbro at all, usually at least, but today you're going to see how strong this Pokemon is actually in this meta. Like, we're running actually also a fun moveset here as well. It's not the ideal moveset, and I would say that Sludge Bomb would have helped me out maybe a little bit more than Focus Blast did, but still we wanted to try to have some fun with Focus Blast today, and we actually hit some of them as well. So let's take a look at Slowbro here, going to be able to resist everything that the opponent going to have. We still have some decent bulk. We have Surf, which is a legacy move. We're going to have Focus Blast. We're going to have the Poison Jab, and oh, the opponent has no real answer anymore. And so we can go for the full farm down, and look at this, the opponent is going to forfeit. So, why I was thinking Slowbro might be a decent Pokemon, mainly because Wigglytuff is everywhere. Wigglytuff is especially in the backline a lot of times. We're going to have a lead that's kind of weak to Wigglytuff. We're going to have a Saysop that's kind of neutral / also weak to Wigglytuff, to be fair, but like, they don't know that I don't have Discharge, of course. And so I kind of want to have a Pokemon to really punish all those Wigglytuffs that I was encountering. But I also want to have a Pokemon that is still able to do some damage against Gligar, which I was encountering the entire time. But I also want to have a Pokemon that was able to beat Victreebel in theory, or like now Venusaur. Venusaur is a little bit more common now than Victreebel. And also the Bastion. And like, basically, the only Pokemon that can do this is the Slowbro version here. And yeah, honestly, it was definitely one of the best Pokemon that I've played so far for the Open Great League, which is quite mad to think about because nobody is using this one. Oh, look at this, Trevenant coming in here, thinking, oh yeah, going to be all fine, I'm a Ghost type, I can take the hit. Oh, can you? Okay, maybe it can with a shield, but now it's down to our Feraligatr trying to get them a little bit low. Honestly, Trevenant, this might be actually the worst possible Pokemon to encounter for this team. They were able to catch a move here as well in the Sand Slash, which makes it a little bit worse even, as we are going to be forced to undercharge it completely, try to go for a Hydro Cannon now, and see if we can still do something here. We have not shown the Slowbro yet, but Slowbro goes down to one Shadow Ball. But it doesn't matter because we can still get the Hydro Cannon off and win the second battle without even showcasing our final Pokemon. So let's take a look at the next one. Oh, horrible lead again. So like, nobody can actually say that he or like me getting a ton of positive leads here. We're going to see the swap out into the Skeleturge, thinking, oh, everything is going to be only neutral, so that's going to be fine for them. Or is it? We're going to be able to get even the defense drop here as well, which might come in clutch for us with our Charger Bug using a shield to try to align ourselves. Is going to be crucial, as now we completely flip the matchup. If they have another fire type in the back, that's going to be a lovely for us. We could have maybe went for one more fast move here, but the X is coming through. It's going to get some nice damage onto them, and I can let the move go through, hoping of course that the opponent is going to not knock me out here, but they sadly do, which is going to be fine. And they're going to have another fire type in the back with the Talonflame, allowing me to go for a Surf now, doing some super effective damage. But they use a shield, which is even better for me because now I can go for the Hydro Cannon spam, and there's nothing that they can do in order to get rid of my Feraligatr in time. They decide to go back into that Ferrothorn. I can use a shield here as well because I have a move stored already. And it's just a little bit easier for me to do it like this, and this is going to be a good game again. Like, what is the opponent going to do here? The opponent's Ferrothorn has no way of taking down our Slowbro. They might take down our Feraligatr, but Slowbro is just going to be a little bit too strong, and they realize it as well. Next opponent, we're going to have a Vigoroth in the lead. Horrible lead again here. So 3 times in a row, like not in a row, I think there was like one lead in between that I forgot what it was, but like 3 times horrible lead already for sure. as we are forced to swap out into the Charger Bug. We're going to see here the opponent going for the charge move, very likely going to be a body slam, like a lot of times people just bait, and they do here as well, which is smart of course, but I'm just going to go for the 2 shields scenario here. 2 shields is going to be the ideal way to go for this matchup in my opinion, as we will see the opponent going for another charge move. We can use a shield, is going to be that body slam, and we will see another move coming through here on a CMP tie, which is going to be also the body slam. So we can still at least align ourselves. We got rid of the normal type Pokemon there, so our Feraligatr going to have a little bit of a better time. We completely undercharged, so we get one more fast move in, which is going to allow us to go for another crunch here, and we have to hope that the opponent is going to let the move go through here. Let's see if they're going to do this. They decide to use a shield, which is a little bit annoying because now it's down to Feraligatr, but because we are not running the Shadow variant, we're actually going to be kind of fine here. We're going to be able to survive this move and get to that Ice Beam to knock them out, and now it's down to if the opponent is going to be weak against Slowbro in the back. What do they have there? It is going to be Annihilate. That is a bad matchup for Slowbro. Slowbro is going to go down to 1 Shadow Ball, and so my only hope is to get a catch done here. And as you can see here, the Switch Shocker is not up, so we are forced to go straight for the Surf. They need 1 more fast move to go for the Shadow Ball, but I predict them to overfarm by a little bit, so we're gonna go for 2 more, and they decide to go for a charge move here. Is this going to be that Shadow Ball? It is, and so we should be able to outspeed them. They can still go for a Night Slash, but Night Slash, while we are a Psychic type, is not going to be enough to knock us out at all, and so we are going to be able to go for the Surf, knock out, and win this battle still, thanks to this amazing catch on that Charger Bug. So let's see what the next opponent is going to have in store here. We're going to have the Deoxys defense against us in the lead, which is usually a very favorable lead for us. That's definitely something that we can just play out, and we should be in a solid spot here. We have 2 good answers in the back as well for it, but honestly I don't really know how to play against it. Like, I don't know what is like the ideal way here for this team. Like, everything kind of makes some sense, like staying in makes some sense, swapping out makes some sense, but here we're gonna get out the opponent's Umbreon. I'm definitely quite happy about this, because the opponent apparently is already double weak to the bug typing of our Charger Bug, which is going to be cool. They decide to let the move go through as well. I can go ahead and try to go for another Exeter, but decide to let the move go through here first. Going to be another last resort. I should be able to go for 2 more Volt Switches, go for that Exeter, knock them out, and see what they want to come back into. So let's see what's going to be. We're going to see the opponent swapping out into a Guzzlord, and this is going to be a very tricky Pokemon to deal with for this team, because you have also again kinda double weakness. Not really, like everything is kinda neutral in its own way. But as you guys see here, I actually decided to go into my Slowbro first to see how much damage I can do with my fast move. And I am going to swap out now as the opponent swaps out now as well, which is not ideal. Now they are going to be able to just go ahead and I'll let the move go through. We will see the Guzzlord coming back in. We can go for that Hydro Cannon, but are they going to use a shield here? I doubt it. And so they're going to be quite low though, which might be the way to go for us. Let's see how this is going to go. We can still go for a Surf. This is going to be able to get the shield from the opponent. And we are on another Surf, and we should be able to win the CMP tie, as Slowbro is not the bulkiest and Guzzlord is quite bulky, and so Surf is going to come through, gonna get the knockout and win us this battle. Next opponent, we're going to have here the Whiscash in the lead. That's going to be quite a solid matchup for us. Definitely one of the better ones for the lead here as well, because our backline is quite weak to Whiscash. That's also kind of how this team is supposed to work. You kind of want to swap out the Charger Bug to bait out the Mud Boy Pokemon, so our other Pokemon in the back, our Slowbro, can win endgame. Anyway, Hydro Cannon is coming through here against the opponent's Whiscash, allowing us to go for our own shield. This is going to get a little bit of a dicier one here. We're going to be able to go for that Hydro Cannon. We should still be able to get them kind of low. I hope that I can knock them out here, but we cannot. I can swap out though, get a Volt Switch in even with that frame drop, and so we should be able to even outspeed them now for the next one while keeping energy on our Feraligatr. This is going to be quite crucial if this is going to work out for us. It's going to be the Exeter. We're going to be able to get the knockout, and in comes the Tentacruel, which we're going to try to punish here with the Crunch. They of course don't know that I'm not running Discharge, and so they're forced to use a shield here, and that is going to be quite a lovely, as now we try to go for another Crunch here in time. They're going to catch the move onto the Skarmory, which is quite okay for me because we still have that Feraligatr stored with some energy here at the back, and I think I even outspeed them to the next move afterwards, which is going to be quite important. So let's take a look at this one. Can we outspeed them? Yes, we can, and this is going to be a knockout against that Skarmory. Goodbye there. Let's see, they're gonna go back into their Tentacruel, and now it's down to Slowbro, and Slowbro is going to be able to take a move here for sure. We can't take any kind of move. It's very likely going to be the Acid Spray anyway, and so this game is over. We can fully farm them down. There's going to be a Scald here, which does not matter to us at all, and we can win this battle. Goodbye there. Next opponent, another Deoxys in the lead. Again, I guess like you can stay in. I decided to swap out this time around straight away, and this is going to kind of set us up into a pretty bad spot, because now we're going to get the Goodra out of here. Goodra resists our fast move, and Goodra is going to be able to withstand 2 Exodus as well, which is going to be quite an awkward place for us to be in, because like this, the opponent can kind of decide on who is going to take switch advantage here as well. Just Dragon Breath is just adding up a little bit too much, and we try to go for another charge move here in time, but we just barely miss out, and that is going to basically decide the game already, because what am I going to do here now? I'm not too sure. I'm forced to go into this Pokemon now, into my Slowbro, because Thunder Punch would be super effective, and I don't really want to use a shield here. So also Poison Jab does a little bit more damage compared to the Shadow Claw. They swap out into a Lickitung, which is not ideal for us as well. Lickitung can be a little bit of a trickier Pokemon to deal with, and so we are like finding ourselves here in a very tough spot here for sure. We're gonna be trying to go for that double Hydro Cannon, but they're gonna go for a Body Slam. I predict that they're gonna go for another Body Slam afterwards as well, just to get some damage onto me, and it's going to be just an uphill battle at this point. Let's see what they're gonna do here next. It is going to be another charge move. We let the move go through. It's going to be the Body Slam very likely, and we try our best to go for that Hydro Cannon, which is going to be able to now connect against the opponent. They let the move go. Oh, they might actually use a shield here on the move. I thought they would let the move go through. I decide to use a shield here as well. We have to try to go for the full farm down. In comes now that Deoxys, and I don't have coverage for this Pokemon, so our best play is to just try to align our charge move onto their charge move, which actually works out quite well here. So they're going to be energy dry, they're going to be at -2 attack now, but yeah, we are basically still trying to beat something that we cannot beat at all, because I think they even survived this move here, and so that is going to be a good game, and we can move on to the next one here, as the opponent definitely going to be able to win this one. So let's take a look at the next opponent. We're going to have here the Wigglytuff in the lead. Horrible for us. We kind of want to play around a little bit here. What we have to do is we have to kind of stay in and go for Hydro Cannon here, just to get them a little bit lower. That's kind of the deal, because if we don't do this, our Charger Bug Stay Swap is going to struggle quite a bit. So Charger Bug is coming in now. They swap out into the Whiscash. All totally fine for me, because now I am going to be able to get out one of the hardest answers to our Pokemon in the back. Our Slowbro is going to be kind of free now to play, as the ground type is going to be away. We of course kind of want to try to get the opponent's Wigglytuff onto our Slowbro in the back, having that super positive matchup for us. But as you will see here, Exeter is going to get them quite low, and I'm going to let the move go through, as after I invested one shield already, trying to get them a little bit lower here, trying to get the knockout against them. That would be kind of lovely for us. If we get the knockout, we can align ourselves perfectly, and we can align ourselves. And so they go into the Wigglytuff. I can still go for another move here, maybe even force a potential shield from the opponent, which we do. And so we have switch advantage, we have the same amount of shields. Yes, they're going to debuff us here. What I'm going to take the move. I am totally happy about this. Icy Wind coming through, and it's going to be that Poliwrath in the back. And I was not counting correctly here. I was thinking that they needed one more fast move, which they didn't, and so they decided to go for the Icy Wind now. And so my only play is now to try to catch the next move though onto my other Pokemon that I have in the back still. I decided to go for the Surf here, actually getting the shield, which was quite risky, but actually worked out quite well for me, which is cool. And in comes now the Icy Wind against our Feraligatr. They go for the full undercharge, which I feel like is a silly mistake. I don't think it really helped them out at all. But Hydro Cannon is going to get them kind of low enough that we can farm them down, but they still swap out here. And now I have to hope that I can win the CMP tie against them. I have a Focus Blast stored, and yes, we can go for the Zero Bubble Focus Blast, winning the CMP tie against the Poliwrath, and win also the game. Next opponent, we're going to have a lovely lead here. Sensage lead is always going to be a positive one for us, unless of course we're going to lag in the beginning, so they have basically the same amount of energy, or like +1 fast move most likely compared to us, which is definitely not ideal. But hopefully it didn't really matter. I think the opponent kind of got a denied a fast move there, which is kind of cool for us at least. But yeah, Drill Run is coming through. We can still go for another charge move. All looking kind of clean so far. The Hydro Cannon is going to allow us to get the final shield and swap out now into the Charger Bug. Charger Bug can take that a little bit better than our lead was able to do. And we're going to get out the Azumarill where I'm like, what are people doing? Like, why would you do this if you don't know that I have Crunch here? Of course, Crunch is going to be a little bit of an awkward thing for the opponent as well now with the debuff, but for us because we don't do the damage. But like, why would he go into your Azumarill against like a Charge Bug? Like, I don't know. There must be a Pokemon in the back maybe that is going to be very weak against Charger Bug. So let's see what it's going to be in the back as we can go for the full farm down. We have to let the move go through. Very likely just going to be the Ice Beam here from the opponent. And let's see what they're going to have here in the back. We have a Surf stored already. It is going to be, well, let's find out. It is going to be the Sandslash again. Okay, we swap out here, which I'm going to let the move go through now. I should be able to even overfarm by a little bit now, hopefully. As we're gonna go down, the opponent catches the move onto the Feraligatr. If I just went ahead and went for the Focus Blast here, I would have been able to win the battle, but sadly because of that catch, I'm going to lose this one. And out of like the 2 battles I think that I lost with this team, one being here from the opponent getting a catch done correctly means like that this was definitely a game that I could have won as well, or like I was in a winning position as well before, and I just kind of misplayed it, which is kind of madness. Honestly, very, very strong team here. We're going to see ourselves swapping into the Slowbro against the Goodra, which seems to be a little bit of a weird play, which is most likely a little bit of a weird play, but I can go for a Surf and knock them out, and so we can align ourselves, which is going to be quite nice, but only after they go for another charge move, which I'm okay with. I'm definitely okay with this one. We can go for the full farm down. In comes Empoleon again. I can go into my Charger Bug and they swap out into a Dragonite. We are going to try to go for the extra here to try to maintain some energy while still not revealing our final charge move, because if we would reveal our final charge move now and the opponent sees that we have Crunch, Empoleon would be way safer, and maybe we're gonna end up in a scenario where they think the game is over while it is not over. This is the thing here as well. I decided to go for the bait mainly for the reason, so if the opponent going to be in a position where it's like we have like 1 shield still left or something on our Charger Bug, which is going to be the exact same thing here, and they're like, oh, they have a discharge, they're going to knock me out anyway, that they might want to forfeit. And let's take a look at this one. They actually decide to forfeit. If they knew that they had Crunch, I think they would have played out, and I think they actually had a decent chance of winning the battle because they had some energy advantage already, and so I don't think that this was actually a game that we would have like necessarily won if the opponent didn't forfeit a little bit too early there. Anyway, we're going to see the opponent having here the Shadow Dragonite. We do a ton of damage with our fast move, which is cool. We're going to be able to go for a Crunch here as well. This would knock them out for sure. Let's see if they're going to use a shield or not. They decide to use a shield. We don't get the debuff here, which would have been really good. Like the debuff here would have changed quite a bit because we would have been able to just fully farm them down. But they still swap out into the Azumarill now, knowing that we don't have Discharge, trying to take advantage of this, but we have still Crunch to try to drop the opponent's defense, which we are not going to be able to do yet, but the opponent tries to go for their own charge move, tries to go ahead and get that Play Rough done, and with them going for Play Rough, I know that's Play Rough Hydro Pump moveset here from the opponent, and so we're gonna try to catch a Hydro Pump onto our Feraligatr, which is going to work out so well for us. That is going to be still doing quite a lot of damage here, but we can go up for quite a lot of energy. I kind of want to be a little bit low with my Feraligatr anyway, so the opponent doesn't get as much farm afterwards. But as we will see here, we're going to get the knockout against the opponent. In comes the Dragonite, we can get a Surf off here. This is going to take the KO against them. And well, let's see what is coming back in here. It's going to be that Venusaur where we can go for a big Focus Blast, but they can still go for a charge move here. It's barely not going to be enough to knock me out. Can we knock them out with a resisted Focus Blast from our Slowbro? Let's find out how much damage this is going to do here. Way more than expected, and so we can win this battle. Alolan Sandslash again in the lead. As said before, you kind of want to stay in, you kind of would win this matchup in the 2-shield scenario, as you're going to be able to outspeed them all the time if they want to go for the Drill Run, which is the neutral move. So here, let's see what they're going to do here. They might go for the bait, which would be fine for them as well. It's going to be the Drill Run though, and so we can go for the Hydro Cannon in time to try to knock them out. They are not yet there, and so Hydro Cannon is going to get the final shield from the opponent. I expect them to try to catch a move soon as well. Very likely going to be a nice punch here from the opponent, which is going to be the case. And so we are both shields down. They can catch the move onto a Mantine. But what we can do now is we can overfarm again, get up to a Hydro Cannon, and then swap out into our Charger Bug, which is going to be able to go for that full farm down against the opponent. Look at the damage output of our Volt Switch against this Water and Flying type Pokemon. We are looking like we're in a great spot here. Hoping that they don't have a move start already on that Sand Slash, because then we could go for the Crunch spam. But they decided to go straight for their own charge move, which is going to be that not the Hydro Cannon, of course, the Ice Punch there. The Hydro Cannon would be kind of fun. Like, imagine Hydro Cannon, Shadow Alone, and Sand Slash. That would be kind of busted, I would say. Anyway, we're going to see a Cracks there in the back, and you might think, oh, Ground type against our Poison type in the back. Don't really worry, we get some damage onto them here. We're going to be able to get some energy again here against them. Stone Edge is the best move they can go for. They go for the Stone Edge, and they still need an Awkward Tail here, which they're not going to be able to go for, and so we can win this battle with our Slowbro again. And so far we didn't really have even the alignment against the Wigglytuff, which is quite interesting. Here, horrible lead for us. Actually, I misplayed this a little bit. I should have actually stayed in for like 6 fast moves in the beginning for the lead here, because having the energy on Feraligatr can be crucial for the end game. Here I can just go for the Exeter anyway and see what this is gonna do. The opponent stops out actually into the Lantern, which is going to be quite good for me. Water Gun is not as ideal, but Water Gun going to allow us to put them into a range where we should be able to go for the full farm down later on with Shadow Claw variant of that Feraligatr. So let's see how this is going to go. They go for the Surf. I can still try to reach another move, which I can do as well. I'm going to go for the Crunch for the potential of debuffing their defense, and we are not going to be able to do that, but we get the shield from the opponent and we get a ton of energy, and with this we can also use our own shield on a potential Thunderbolt, which is going to be the case here. But look at the energy that we have now, and of course Superior is not going to enjoy any kind of Ice Beam here, and so Ice Beam coming through, going to be super effective against the opponent. Let's see what they're going to swap into next. They're actually going to let the move go through, and we can try to swap out, but they actually decided to go for the Arid Ace here over the Frenzy Plant, which is going to be fine for us. We can still survive it. It's going to be the Dugong in the back, and we can swap out afterwards into our Slowbro. And here's like one of the bigger matchups where if we would have had Sludge Bomb, it would have been way better for me, because like what am I going to do here with Surf against this Pokemon? It is barely possible to win this battle here for us, but let's see if we can still come back from this. They decide to go ahead and go for that Drill Run, getting us a little bit lower than I wanted to. I could have used the shield, but I was expecting the Icy Wind, which is coming out now, of course. So at the end of the day, mostly I should have used the shield on the first move. Here now we're going to be debuffed. Debuffing going to be quite awkward, because Surf is barely doing any damage anyway, but they make a crucial mistake swapping into the Superior here, because this will allow us to go for the full farm down, go for the Hydro Cannon and win the battle, which otherwise would have not been the case. So thanks for that victory, and we can move on to the final battle for today. We're going to have a Unova Stunfisk here, and if you might think about this kind of Pokemon being a little bit rare and spicy, this is most likely a viewer of mine, so shout out to you. But here's like the awkward thing: if you battle me with my own Legend team, I know how to counter this well, so I had to do the call there in the beginning that the opponent goes for not a discharge but a Mud Bomb to try to outspeed me then later on, which is a smart play by the opponent, but it is still predictable. Here I still can go for the Exeter, but it's still not actually going to be an over game yet. Like, I know what they're going to have in the back, and I know that we're going to have a decent alignment here so far for us, but what we're gonna see here as well is that Dugong actually has great potential of flipping everything, and Dugong is going to take advantage of this. As we're gonna see here, Exeter is going to get them a little bit lower, but they're still going to be able to survive, and they're gonna still go for another charge move, which is gonna get us to 1 HP, and so it is down to Feraligatr. I know that they're gonna go into their Wigglytuff now, which allows me to swap out straight away, but what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go for a Surf, and my play here is I have to hope that I can somehow get rid of that Stunfisk. I can go for a no shield here on the first move for sure, seeing how much damage it's going to do, just to see if this is worth using a shield. It is definitely worth using a shield here, especially after seeing that the opponent's health is already that far down. We're going to be able to go for the next charge move, and let's see if they're going to use a shield or not. I would use a shield if I was the opponent, but they don't decide to use a shield here, which is going to be crucial for us, because now we can still go for another Surf. Even if they let the move go through, we're going to be fine, but no matter what they're going to do here, they're going to have to take 2 Hydro Cannons. They sneak in this extra free fast move, which should have never went through, by the way, but it doesn't matter, as we can still win the battle. And so this is going to be it for this video. Hope you enjoyed 23 minutes and 30 seconds, basically some nice Galarian Slowbro gameplay. Hopefully you enjoyed this team. Feel free to copy it. It was so nice for me. 12-2, as you can see here, so 5-0 at the back. And yeah, that's going to be it. Hope you enjoyed. Check out the video on the screen, and I'll see you then. Bye bye.